Well, welcome to the Echo Tips podcast. It's good to have you with us this week. We're going to be having a head-to-head battle between Amazon Music Prime and Amazon Music Unlimited. That's right, there's been some changes in the music space on the Amazon Echo, and it had a lot of layers before, and now, well, I'm going to try and help you sort out the confusion. But needless to say, you got some pretty amazing options now. A lot of cool things. If you're already a Prime member, you're going to get for free. And really, it probably will just serve your needs perfectly. But we're going to look at some of the past music packages. Some of you may have already been subscribers. I know some of my students from our program here were subscribers. And so we're going to kind of gloss over some of these options, what you get, what you don't get, and hopefully answer some of your questions. But before we get into that in any sort of detail, we're going to go to a brief message about our podcast, and then we'll be right back. This episode is brought to you by New Vision at Goodwill Industries of the Valleys, and also made possible in part by a grant from the Virginia Board for the Blind and Vision Impaired. New Vision is a program of Goodwill that provides information services and assistive technology training to individuals with visual impairments. Goodwill Industries of the Valleys is a nonprofit organization serving Central, Southwest, and Southside Virginia. Goodwill's mission is to empower individuals, strengthen families, and inspire communities. These shows are provided for educational purposes. This podcast may not be retransmitted, sold, or reproduced without written permission from New Vision. Well, hello again, and as we said, welcome to the podcast this week. We're going to be looking at music on the Amazon Echo line of devices. This also even extends to the Fire TV line of devices. I sometimes kind of forget that, but that applies to this as well. So there's been kind of a major kind of a shuffle and turn up here at the end of October and the first week of November. And with some of the music offerings from Amazon that specifically affect our listeners who are on the Amazon Echo and who are traditionally using those sort of devices. But first, before I delve into that, I'd like to welcome our new listeners who are wondering what they got themselves into. We'd like to welcome you to the Echo Tips podcast. My name is David Ward. I'm an assistive technology instructor with the New Vision program at Goodwill, here based in Southwest Virginia. At the tail end of the episode, I'll mention in some ways you can find out more about me and my program and what we do. But needless to say, we try to have little nuggetized episodes, 5 to 15 minutes long. This one might be longer. I'm trying to cram it all in here, but there's been a lot of shifts and changes, and I feel like kind of just for clarity, just to make it all, just to kind of go down through the whole list of things here. But for our returning listeners, we'd like to welcome you back as well, and because of y'all, we're even here 5 years in, we're around 100,000 listens to the podcast. Okay, all right, so let's delve right in. So now, some of you may listen to online streaming music over your Echoes, and you don't have to use Amazon's offerings, although today we're going to learn about some really free stuff, basically, they're throwing your way if you are a Amazon Prime member, and we'll talk a little bit about that as well and those offerings as well. I will mention first off, this isn't our first time tackling music in this podcast, so if you want to look back at our back catalog, we've talked about everything from waking up to music in episode 31. We've talked about the Amazon Music Unlimited offerings and crazy things you can do with Amazon Music in episode 27. We've talked about, from everything from playing lyrics to certain years and genres, Billboard hits from a certain year, things like that, the year you were born or even your month of birth. We talked about sharing music in episode 138. Maybe you find a particular song you like, you want to share with a friend. And we've talked about a lot more. Pandora Music and Apple Music and I think Spotify Music are all options on your Amazon Echo as well. So if you were already a subscriber to one of those services, you may want to just stick with that. But I'm going to mention here today our new offerings from Amazon. All right, so let me jump over here in my browser because to keep this all straight is quite an ordeal. So first off, we want to talk about Prime membership, Amazon Prime. So the Echo line of devices are Amazon products, so sometimes they try to mix in some things here to upsell you or to just, keep you happy with the service. So Amazon Prime has primarily, is a service really geared towards purchasing things on Amazon often and getting like free shipping, 2-day air shipping on a lot of your packages. That's probably the granddaddy of services. But since then, they've added in lots of other freebies you have as a result. That could include videos and shows they produce themselves for free. And historically, it's included a snippet of their music catalog. Not the whole music catalog, but a certain part of the music catalog. I can't remember how many million songs, but it wasn't maybe around 10 million. I can't quite remember. The whole catalog now is around 100 million in the catalog. Okay, so back to the Amazon Prime. So if you were a member of that where you get the shipping for certain products, if you get a lot of TV shows for free, and then you used to get, that snippet of the music catalog. That's what's really changed now with Amazon Music Prime, which if you're just a Prime member, you get for free, okay? So now you get the whole catalog. That's all the albums, all the artists, all the music for free, but with certain functional limitations. And we'll address that here in a bit. But first off, what does Prime cost? It's roughly $14. It just went up, I think, February 2022. It's up to $139 a year if you just pay a one-time fee. If you pay by the month, it's $14.99. So that's basically that. If you are a Amazon Prime student member, I don't know if some of these limitations affect you as far as music and stuff. You probably get it too. But if you want to dig into that, that's $7.49 a month or $69 a year. And if you are somebody who is an EBT / aka food stamps, Medicaid, or yada yada in your state, or receive some sort of other government assistance, you may want to look into eligibility for discounted Amazon Prime for you, which I think can go down as low as $6.99 per month here. So you may want to delve into that. And I deal primarily with my students day in and day out with our program. I deal with students with vision impairments or who are totally blind. And so some of them may fall into these categories depending on their current employment status. So anyway, so feel free to dig into that, but that's Amazon Prime. Now, as a result, you get connected to Amazon Music, not Unlimited, Amazon Music Prime now, okay? So what are your limits on that? Well, you don't get to just play any one-off song. If you say Dolly Parton, it's going to shuffle Dolly Parton now. And that's kind of the distinction if you are a Prime member. So you get all the music that you can want, and you get access to the playlist, I believe, all the playlists and stations. Stations are basically playlists that shuffle. That's all that Amazon stations are, pretty much. I believe you get access to all of that stuff. It just shuffles. That's the distinction, I think. I assume it shuffles the playlist as well, because the playlists usually are laid out in a linear order. But it pretty much shuffles. Now, you do get unlimited skips still. So with some competing services, you may be limited, like on Pandora, how many skips you get. You don't have that arbitrary limitation. You're just kind of always locked into shuffle mode with Amazon Prime, Amazon Music Prime. Okay? Now, that's cool. So if you're a Prime member already and you're already doing that, you're just going to be getting this music for free on your Echoes, your Fire TVs, and the like. Now, I'm not too sure if you try to go play on more than one Echo at a time, like your wife's downstairs and you're upstairs. I'm not too sure how that works. I would think you are probably limited in that, and you will probably be told that you need to upsell or you need to upgrade to Amazon Unlimited, but I'm not too sure here based on the documentation I see it before me right now about that. But that's basically it. Now, other things that you will be limited by, you will not get access to some of the HD, high quality, high definition music. UHD, you won't get access to that with just Prime. So basically that's where we're going to step over into super nuclear music, if you will. And that is Amazon Music Unlimited. Unlimited. Okay, so historically I have had students who subscribe to that starting with a very basic entry-level program for $4.99 here in the U.S., and that was locked to a single Echo. And I think it's still called the Amazon Music Unlimited single user account or single something. That still exists. Now, whenever you step over into Amazon Unlimited Music, you pretty much have, of course, once again, access to the whole catalog. But now you are not limited to this locked-in shuffle mode. You can specify any song and instantly it will play it. And so that's pretty cool. That's the unique feature of that. Now I haven't heard yet or read yet how some of these finer distinctions are made. Like in the old demos of the podcast, I specified how you could play a song by lyrics. You can just say, hey, play the song that has the lyrics, yada, yada, yada. And it would play that song. So I don't know if that is restricted to the unlimited music package or not. I would think it kind of would be, since that's kind of like playing a specific song and not in like a shuffle mode. But I'm really not too sure. But generally, you're going to get those historically are part of the unlimited package. So the ability to play a specific song. And, of course, now this HD high-quality music, UHD music content, and also, what's the other term here? Spatial audio, and maybe some of these other specific things if you're really into like Dolby Atmos, certain types of music, spatial audio stuff. That's going to be up here in these unlimited music packages. So, once again, bottom tier is the $4.99 here in the U.S., locked to one Echo. It literally is locked to the one Echo. I recently learned here reading through the documentation, it can be locked to a Fire TV as well. So if you had like a TV that was set up as like your music station, your music player and was hooked up to your stereo, or you had a great sound bar and stuff, you can do it on the Fire TV as well, just not an Echo. But once it's locked to that Echo, it's pretty much locked to that Echo. Now, if you want to find out what you got and you're not too sure right now, because I had a music package, you can ask. And so if you have an Echo in hearing distance me, you might want to shut its ears off. I'm going to do this real quick. I'm going to say, Alexa, sign up for unlimited music package.
You already have the Amazon Music Unlimited individual plan.
Okay.
To upgrade to the family plan, just say upgrade Amazon Music.
Stop. Okay, so right there, it reiterated. It's kind of scary when you do that, but I always have a PIN code lockout, and she'll always ask for confirmation for a purchase. So she came back and stipulated that I had the individual plan. So that leads to my next step. So the base plan is locked to one stone that still exists for $4.99. The next step up is basically what I got, which is I think $4 more. It's $8.99. It's $8.99 for me because I'm a Prime member already. If you are not a Prime member, it would be $9.99, I believe. But please, by all means, check the frequently asked questions, the FAQ on the website. And then also, above that, as she tried to just offer me as an option, I could upgrade to the family plan. The family plan is, I think, $14.99 a month. So it's a little bit of a jump there, up again, more than $4 in that instance. But yeah, you're jumping up. But it's a pretty amazing package, the $14.99, which allows up to 6 family members to all listen simultaneously on their different devices, whether it be on their phones while they're riding the bus or they're going around or on their Echoes in their room, up to 6 different family members. They can also, as a result, keep kind of their own playlist, their own likes, their own dislikes, their whatever. All that is separated, so you're not like having all your music mixed together. And furthermore, you can have that simulclass feature. Now, here in the classroom, I am not using the $4.99 single device thing because I'm locked to a device at work and I can't listen to music at home. So, or vice versa. So that's why I upgraded to the individual plan. So I could play a single stream on any device. Just depends on where I'm at, right? But if I had a family member at home who's trying to jam at home while I'm trying to jam at work, that won't work. And that's when you need to upgrade to the family plan. Okay, so I think that pretty much covers it. And that family plan kind of gives me the inkling that probably with the Amazon Prime Music now that's free for all Prime members, I kind of am thinking it's probably not going to allow you to play music simultaneously on multiple devices. I'm just kind of guessing that would probably be a reason you would need to upgrade to like a family plan unlimited. It's more like the individual single stream plan that they're kind of giving you for free with your Prime membership. Okay, so that kind of stipulates a huge gambit of what has been changed. I will mention some additional changes connected with podcast. Hang on. Okay, so in regards to podcast, and by the way, the Daily Tech News Show with Tom Merritt does a wonderful breakdown this on episode, I think it's 4387. It's for November 1st. Anyway, and I've been kind of perusing some of the resources that he had. But in regards to podcast, the new Amazon Prime membership benefits now also include things that affect podcasts. So you might be listening to podcasts on your Echo, and in which case these things would affect you. So now you're going to get many different top-level podcasts on your Echo if you're an Amazon Prime member. With this free music upgrade kind of service they're giving you or features. And you're going to get a lot of those without ads, including shows from CNN, NPR, and Wondery. So just a heads up there. And ESPN and other Amazon exclusive shows. That's probably shows they produce themselves. So Amazon, the Music app will also get that... mentions here. I'm just looking through the notes if there's anything else you need to know. The Amazon Music app is also going to be redesigned, and they're going to add the podcasting feature in there as well. So that doesn't necessarily affect you on the Echo, but the ad-free components and stuff for some of those services like CNN, NPR, Wondery, ESPN might be of interest to you. So you might notice that that's sounding different now due to some of these upgrades. Okay, so that basically brings all the major things to a summation. If you want to find out more, Google Amazon Music, Prime Music, or Music Prime, Amazon Music Unlimited. There's a frequently asked questions that really goes through some of this. It's a poorly designed frequently asked questions. It's got like 3 questions listed on the side that don't really answer a whole lot of nothing. But if you click on the main question and then scroll down the page, there's actually a whole list of these kind of questions that make the distinctions between the two different services. They talk about the family plan, the single-use plan, and some of that in great detail. Okay, so hopefully that will help you out, help you make the distinctions in some of those music packages and the differences and the podcast and the like. Now, I will mention, just as an aside, for my personal usage over the last 3 weeks, I use Amazon Music every day. I wake up to Amazon Music. I have alarms that trigger with Amazon Music that mean different things. I have music going in my bathroom while I'm getting ready and shaving and showering in the morning. I have a whole system connected to Amazon Music. And I will say that I have found the service buggy and flaky over the last couple of weeks. So if you've experienced that, you are not alone. Okay, well, that basically brings things to a close on this episode. It's time to start practicing some of the many things that you've learned. Turn those ears on your Echo back on and start jamming. If you'd like to find out more about what I'm doing, you're welcome to look me up at goodwillvalleys.com/newvision. That's all lowercase and no spaces. Or reach out to us on Twitter or Facebook at Goodwill Industries of the Valleys. Or shoot us an email at info@goodwillvalleys.com. You have thoughts, you have suggestions, you'd like, errata, whatever. Please reach out to us with thoughts or suggestions. We really, really appreciate your feedback very much. Well, until next time, it's time to start practicing some of those many things that you learned. I'm David Ward for the New Vision program, and we thank you for listening.
Thanks, Dave. Let me tell you a bit more. Let me put on my official sounding voice. Ahem, ahem. This episode is brought to you by New Vision at Goodwill Industries of the Valleys and also made possible in part by a grant from the Virginia Board for the Blind and Vision Impaired. New Vision is a program of Goodwill that provides information services and assistive technology training to individuals with visual impairments. Goodwill Industries of the Valleys is a nonprofit organization serving Central, Southwest, and Southside Virginia. Goodwill's mission is to empower individuals, strengthen families, and inspire communities. These shows are provided for educational purposes. This podcast may not be retransmitted, sold, or reproduced without written permission from New Vision. Phew! Thanks for listening.